Before we get started, this podcast is rated R. There's a cat in this room also. Welcome to our cult, the Cult of Books. I'm your leader, Natasha. As you can see, I'm all by myself. Jeannie is on a well-earned, well-deserved vacation, and she's off recruiting some new recruits to join the cult. In this episode, we have a special co-host. As you will see, it is actually my dad. We're going to be talking about all things Stephen King because he has read a vast majority and I have not, and I really want to. And before we get started, quick disclaimer, this podcast is rated R, not suitable for young listening ears. We talk about Stephen King books, his works, which have some horror, thrill, maybe some gore, and we will be spoiling, not a whole lot, but we will be discussing some spoilers. So it is up to your discretion to listen at work. There will be swearing, talking about the Stephen King books, but not too bad. This episode isn't too bad. So right before let's get started, let's discuss some quick Stephen King facts that I did not know until I started doing some research. Stephen King has written since the 1970s, which I did know. He has written a lot of books. This is the part I did not quite know. He has written over 70 books and 200 short stories. Damn. That is between his author name, Stephen King, his name, Stephen King, and his pseudonym, or his pen name, Richard Bachman. That is a lot of books between those two names. And that is just crazy. That is a lot of work. Good job, Stephen. And as I say, I'm listening to Salem's Lot. I'm right at the beginning of the audiobook. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually pick up a physical copy and read it. I'm leaning more towards that way because I want to start collecting them and reading them. Just because I was listening and I was into it, but I was having a hard time continuing to listen. So we'll see how the rest of today goes. I only have a few more days left with it on Libby. Now, on to our episode. Enjoy. Okay. Hi, devotees. Welcome to this special episode. I sat with my dad. We were talking about all things Stephen King. I'm very interested in reading it, and he has read a few. So we're going to talk about that. But as we always do with our podcast, we talk about how we got into these books. So, Dad, how did you get into Stephen King?
Well, back in the mid-'70s, I went and saw a little film called Carrie. Mm-hmm. And I liked horror films. I liked, scary things. I liked, variety.
You're where I get my taste from.
Probably. And I noticed it said it was based on a novel by Stephen King. So I found that intriguing. So I went to, I believe it was a library. Could have been a bookstore. I don't remember. It's way back when. It definitely wasn't Amazon. There was no Amazon.
Not back then.
So I went to, I think it must have been a bookstore. And back then there was a bookstore called B. Dalton. And they were a very big chain. This was in Southern California. Mm-hmm. And I found out he had a few books out at the time. Carrie, Salem's Lot. Mm-hmm. And I had just finished the film Carrie, and I did not want to read the book.
Makes sense.
Because juxtapose, I didn't want to offset anything that I had seen and maybe read.
Yeah.
So I decided to start with Salem's Lot. And that was the first book I read.
I actually just started that this morning.
It's a very good book.
Maybe an hour into it. It's audiobook.
Oh, you're doing yeah.
I'm doing audiobook, yeah. I'm liking it so far, but I said I'm just starting. So.
Yeah, the audiobooks when I was younger was if your mommy read to you.
Yes, they were. Not like nowadays.
No.
So yeah, I have not read any Stephen King. I said I've seen a lot of his movies. And I love them, so I want to start reading some of them. Do you have any books of his that you remember reading and loved so much and hated? Loved and hated. Not talking about book to film adaptation, though, because
right.
I know.
No, I don't know if there's any books that I've read of his that I've hated. Mm-hmm. There's been a couple that were maybe, I thought, a little more disappointing, or, mm-hmm. I didn't quite like the storyline. But for the most part, I like Stephen King, the way mm-hmm. he writes. He's a visual writer. When he puts down in words, I can see it in my head.
Those are good authors.
So Salem's Lot got me into it. I thought that was very good. The next book I read was The Shining, and that is probably my all-time favorite Stephen King book. That book was amazing and really got me going to read anything else he was going to put out as much as I could.
I have The Shining and Doctor Sleep. I have not read them, but I want to.
Yeah, Doctor Sleep was a long time coming sequel that was done very well. I enjoyed that too. Doctor Sleep was
2013.
Yeah, not that long
so
ago.
The Shining book came out. So we have notes. 1977. Doctor Sleep, the sequel, came out in 2013. That is crazy.
Yeah,
that is definitely a long time coming sequel.
yeah. I don't think he really wanted to do a sequel. I think it was finally just something he decided to do. Maybe I don't know if there was any pressure on him to do it, or people kept asking, and he finally came up with a story about it. But
yeah,
it was nice to see how he took Danny, the young boy from The Shining, and now presented him as an adult and what his life has been like and what's going on.
Yeah, no, I said I've seen all the movies and I really liked the movie. But I know you don't like The Shining movie with Jack Nicholson.
No, I do not. And anybody who read the book did not like the movie. I understand movies can't fulfill everything in the book.
Yeah.
And some minor changes will happen. And yeah, that's to be expected.
Absolutely.
But they changed a lot.
We can spoil things. I'm making this a spoiler episode.
They maybe it was just technology. What they could do back then, because there was no CGI. They really had to come up with ways to make things work on film, whether it was miniatures or an overlaying a shot into a miniature shot.
Yeah.
But the maze sequence, in the maze, there was topiaries in the book, and they came alive and chased Danny.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. In the book, the caretaker dies. In the movie, he didn't. He helps him escape.
I have not seen the movie in forever, so I
don't remember. There was a few other things. And Jack Nicholson is fine as an actor. I just thought it was a little over the top.
And then there are iconic scenes from it.
Right, absolutely. And everybody that loves some of those scenes never read the books.
Yeah.
And yeah, they can become iconic movie for standalone for other people. But to me, when they remade it as a TV movie and like a 2 or 3 parter, I think, I don't remember, they followed it much more closely.
I have not been able to find that anywhere, and I
believe The Shining is the reason. And I can't confirm this for sure, but I believe Stephen King wanted script approval after the movie came out.
That would make sense.
Because he did not like the movie either.
That makes a lot of sense.
And so he wanted to make sure that they were following the gist. And he knows not everything can be put in a movie, but you follow don't change too much in the movie.
No.
So, and I must say, most of the rest that have been made into movies, they've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Following along.
I never read the book Pet Sematary. I said I've never read any of these, but the movie was terrifying. I still watch it and I'm scared, and I know what's going to happen.
Yeah. The book was terrifying. A lot of his books are terrifying.
Yeah. I love that.
Fear is something that's a huge human emotion, and we all. And there are times it's actually good for you to have the fear or the run or fight mode going in you.
Yeah, the fight or flight, exactly. Yeah,
and so he writes well. You can picture everything well. Like I said, that's one of the reasons I haven't read everything he's written, but I've read quite a lot of his books, and that's one thing I really enjoy.
And I've got a couple of the most recent, like Holly and Fairy Tale. I got them for him. He hasn't read them. I want to read them also, so I got them for both of us.
Yeah, I have a stack of books by my recliner that I need. I'm slowly working down, and people keep giving me books because they know how much I like to read. Yeah.
So yeah, we know a lot of his stuff was made into movies or made for TV movies, like It. The newer It's are really good. I've also seen the Tim Curry one, That was really good too. I remember seeing that, and that terrified me. And then the movies, so well done.
Yes.
And I love that Stephen King had a cameo in it.
and it helps that a lot of people have a natural fear of clowns anyway. Yes. So those movies also prey on that factor too, or stories.
Bill Skarsgård did really good in that. I've seen like behind the scenes stuff where he's like high-fiving the kids, like, good job, you guys ready to kill me today? You know, that type of stuff. I'm like, that's so cute. As he's in full makeup and costume.
Remember, we're just pretending. I'm not really a deadly creature here. You know?
Right? And he's like, seems like so nice. Another one I've seen, Misery. Have you read that one?
Yes, I read Misery.
The movie,
the movie was phenomenal.
It was good. I just don't like that scene.
Yeah, nobody likes that scene.
No.
I mean, I believe they changed that a little from the book, but for the most part, the gist is there.
Ugh.
You know, So
I don't want to talk about it in case people are squeamish, but I don't know why you're on this podcast. But yeah, it's I have ankle problems, so just watching that and thinking about it just gives me chills.
No, Kathy Bates and James Caan, they were excellent in that film. The book
Kathy
was
Bates.
extremely well written.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to read books after I've seen a film.
Mm-hmm.
If I know I'm going to go see a movie and there's a book, I will usually try and read the book first. It's just a little quirk I have.
It is, but you did read the Harry Potter books after the movies. Most of the movies came out.
Yeah, I think I started after the second or third
movie
film, and you guys were reading them, and I heard good things about them. So I started over and read, and then caught up. And
he read all 6 books because book 7 was not out yet in 2 weeks, and then book 7 came out, and he read it in like a day and a half. He was also on summer break.
yeah, I had a job where I could be off in the summer. It was nice.
Yeah,
be with your kids.
I read it in like 5 days, and then my brother read it in 6. So.
Yeah, we're a family of quick readers.
We are. So. I read really fast. Cleanser. I read Icebreaker, which is a thick, like cheesy romance. A lot of people don't like it, in less than 24 hours. And Janie's like, "Wow, how did you get through that?" I'm like, "I don't know, I just read."
Sometimes you just, bear through it and keep going. Yeah. Some books are that good.
Some books are so good. I also forget that Green Mile is a book of his.
Yeah,
I've seen the movie and I love it.
It's more of a short story or a novella. There's a lot of them came out of short stories or collections he put together. The Shawshank Redemption came out of
that's his too.
that came out of a short story as well. And some of them he expanded later into full novels. But I believe the first collection I read was Night Shift, and there was a variety of stories, and Night Shift, and there's a few other ones that have good little short stories in them.
Because this man has written so much since the 70s. Like, how do you do this?
It just sometimes a writer just has that much inspiration and storytelling in them, and they can come up with a variety of things, whether it's from the way they grew up, what they saw when they grew up. He's a horror writer. Maybe the things that scared him as a child.
He talks about that at the beginning of Salem's Lot, actually.
Yeah, nightmares, or maybe the old movies you watched. You might have watched the old Frankenstein or the old Mummy movies or Wolf Manor and things like that, and made a little twist here and there. And
he talks about wanting to borrow Dracula from the library and his mom getting it for him and him reading it when he was like 11, 12. And just loving it. And then they moved and he found comic books about vampires and just fell in love with those. And so he had like a random idea, and his wife, so what about this? Like, helped expand. I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah, his wife's Tabitha is a writer herself, and I believe a poet, and she's a big help and inspiration.
That's really cool.
With him. So
dream team.
They've been together a long time. So
that's awesome. We were talking the movie Dreamcatcher. I barely remember it because I remember you watching it at grandma's house, your mom's house, with your brothers, and I was terrified because it's in the middle of the woods nowhere. Grandma lives in the middle of the woods nowhere, but I was still watching it. It came out, and I think the movie was 2003, and I was like 13. I was terrified.
Another one, I had read the book beforehand. I didn't even know they were making a movie at that time. I just said,
I think one of your brothers made you watch it.
It's possible, but a lot of times they'll come across go to a bookstore and come across, new Stephen King. You know,
That's what happens with me.
That's what I do with a variety of authors I'm reading. Yeah, I'll look. Usually, I guess in Costco is where I find a lot of books too. As I'm
Because
just
they have books again.
roaming through. Yeah, they have books, and I'm just going, wow, cool. Look,
I know a lot of your favorites are like Clive Cussler, Dan Brown, James Patterson, right? There's some of your top ones that I know.
Yeah, James Patterson I read now and then. I've gone blank. David Baldacci I read a lot.
Yeah.
He has a good variety of stories and characters, and he does have some series.
It's hard to shop for you because you read them and then give them away. And I'm like, what have you read?
Yeah, because I'll go on a reading binge, and all of a sudden I'll knock off 5-10 books within a few weeks, and then I'm done. Then I'm done reading for a while.
Yeah.
But I like a variety of books, whether they're fiction or nonfiction. You know, so and I'm glad my kids have followed suit, because
I love
between your mother and I, so we both like to read and love stories, and I'm glad you guys caught on to that.
I've tried to read to all the littles, and I'm like, hey, we're gonna read a book. Andy's gonna read to you.
Yeah. I guess you just haven't quite caught on to Stephen King yet.
Not yet, but I really want to, because I love horror.
Yeah.
I was telling our friend Katya about this, that we're doing this episode, and she was laughing because we watched the movie Cujo together, and her dog was outside of our house and barked at like a really scary scene, and we jumped and screamed so hard, and we're like, oh my god. Like, it was so terrifying. That movie still terrifies me, and I love it, but it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he writes some terrifying moments.
He really does, because it's more like stuff that's like real that could actually happen too, like that.
Right.
Those are more terrifying.
Right, those are the more terrifying ones. That they're like, but when you do stories that the everyman it could happen to, I believe that's what made Hitchcock so good as a director of films, because most of his heroes or anti-heroes and the protagonists were usually the everyman that just happens to stumble onto, oh my God, what's happening to me now? And it wasn't always horror, but it was suspenseful and thrills and, oh, what's happening next? And
what's this?
How did I get stuck in this?
Yeah. So have any of Stephen King's books like terrified you that you're just like, I can't read this again?
Well, The Shining was the first and still the only book when I was reading it, because at that time, when it came out, the only chance I had to read was in the evening or lying in bed. And that book scared me. And I had closed it several times.
Oh, wow.
While reading, and this is scaring the crap out of me, and I got to stop. Yeah. And I would put it down, and I wouldn't read it again until the next day or the day after, and then I'd read some more and get past that part, and then something else where I'm just going, oh my God, So
that was me,
because he's like I said, he's a visual writer. The way he writes and explains things, describes what's going on in a particular area. I can see it in my head as I'm reading it.
For those that haven't read Stephen King like me, what do you think is a good starter introduction book for him to like introduce you?
I think to start early with some of his stuff, because then you can see how. Or go ahead and start with the early works. Now, I can't tell you anything about Carrie other than the first movie, but apparently it was interesting enough to producers in Hollywood to say, "Ooh, good story."
Yeah.
So. The first book I read was Salem's Lot, and that hooked me because it has, one of the all-time prime thing that people think about, vampires.
Yeah.
So
in the modern time, that time in the 70s. Yeah.
Right. And The Shining goes, and Carrie, it's an ESP type thing, or telekinetic powers, which people believe in. And the same with The Shining. People believe in some psychic abilities and believe in ghosts, and they believe in evil versus good as far as ghosts and apparitions and things like that. So go ahead and I would start with those and then work your way through whatever else you want to read after that. I mean, if you've seen some of the movies or heard of the movies, maybe grab that book, and find out what Misery is about. Or The Stand, or The Dead Zone. The Dead Zone was interesting as well, too. A guy who wakes up from a car crash in a coma
Okay.
all of a sudden has second sight. He just basically has to touch that person and he can see the future of that person.
That actually sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Yeah, it's interesting. The movie was okay, you know.
Those early movies.
The Stand, I believe, was a mini series. That's basically, and that's a kind of a religious overtones to that one. It's basically the apocalypse hits, and there's two sides. One guy who's, or is he the devil, and the other guy he's a representative of an angel or a god that people are following. There's a variety of things. You know, the gunslinger. I believe, isn't that what it is? The gunslinger, or the Dark Tower.
That was a more recent movie.
Dark Tower. They made a fair. Yeah.
I love that.
That's kind of a fantasy book.
That was more fantasy.
Yeah, that's more fantasy. He does delve into other genres, you know.
And I know he writes under a different name also.
Yeah, he was Richard Bachman. He used that name as a pseudonym. He wanted to see if, from what I understand, and some other authors have done this as well, use a pseudonym, because are you just buying it because I'm Stephen King and you believe it's going to be good, or is my story good? And that is not an uncommon characteristics of creators or artistic people. Many actors and actresses go through this emotion, or artists, or so it is an emotion. I've become successful. Are you just buying my stuff because it has my name? I could write just a piece of crap item or paint a terrible painting, but it has my name on it.
Yeah.
So they want to see, they want to check it out and do, so they'll do something different. But that pseudonym was there, but the word got out fairly quickly.
Because that was before internet.
And that's before the internet. And all of a sudden people were talking, going, wait a minute. But that comes from leaks from the publisher then. Somebody in the publishing house has leaked that. I don't remember how many books he had out before it leaked out, but it became, Richard Bachman is Stephen King. Yeah. So
I think he still writes under that, or maybe like not as often.
Yeah. I think he'll still throw one out there ever so often. This is a Bachman novel or something.
I know he has a lot of novellas too.
He has a lot of novellas. He has a lot of collections, just a bunch of little short stories where, he just doesn't have a full 400, 500, 600 page novel in his head. He has, all right, I can write something for 30 pages.
Yeah. Which happens sometimes. It's like, hey, let me just put this together because I don't want it to expand, and maybe later he'll expand it.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to look at a lot of the TV shows on nowadays. They're not writing 20, 25 episode shows. Some of the more popular ones are 8 to 12 episodes, and
especially on streaming platforms like Stranger Things.
Especially the streaming platforms. The regular networks, for the most part, they're not producing the 25, 26 episodes. They're down. They're 20, 22 episodes.
Maybe 18. Yeah.
It depends on the type of show. If it's an hour-long show, they might only go to 18. The half hours are a little cheaper to produce. But, but still,
it makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't really read any of the books that have series groupings with them, or about this one character follows through many of the novels. I haven't done that. It looks
like Holly, that I got you as part of a series, the Holly Gibney books, starts with The Outsider. If It Bleeds, it's a novella. Holly, and then the newest one, Never Flinch, which just came out this year, or it's about to come out. And then he has a picture book coming out, Hansel and Gretel. Said we have our notes, because I don't remember everything Stephen King off the top of my head.
It's hard to remember everything I read and what I haven't read.
Exactly.
But I did a lot more reading in the 70s and 80s, and some in the 90s. Before
kids were really
around. Yeah. Then you get busy with a life and other things, work. But then as they get older and they do a few more things, I can go back to reading a little bit more.
Do this.
I'm looking through the list that you prepared here, and I don't think I've read anything in the 2020s yet.
So he has a lot of newer stuff, like the 2010s, Doctor Sleep,
Right.
and then
That might be the only one I read in that decade.
in the 10s.
Yeah.
The Outside, yeah. Then,
but
because you have Fairy Tale and Holly, which I know were newer ones for sure.
Yes.
And I said they just looked really good. I remember seeing Fairy Tale like everywhere. I was like, just that cover would entice me. Like, yeah, and like the thickness is just thick.
Yeah, he's known for writing pretty big books, but I like that.
I like big, thick books. I'd rather have a thicker book than a shorter book that's like, what the heck? Not a lot of detail. So, yeah, I said I started Salem's Lot this morning. I was really into it.
Mm-hmm.
Then the first bit was him talking about how he got into it and all this story. And it was a good like 15, 20 minutes of him just talking. And it was like, oh, this is fascinating. And then it started and I was like, okay, I'm going to see how this goes. I want to know, because I know it sounds like it's about vampires. I'm like, okay, I want to see where this goes. Because I'm like, how are we on a vampire?
Right.
So like a tall man and a kid are in Mexico. And then years later, I don't know. I'm really confused. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, it's been a while since I read it, but yeah, you should enjoy it. So yeah,
and
if you start there, you'll be good. I know you and Mom like audiobooks now, and I still like to pick up my book.
I do too. I said I have physical books. I love to just sit and read a physical book, but I also read on my Kindle or audiobook. Sometimes I'll listen while I'm reading on my Kindle. It's kind of what I've been doing lately. Okay, so I know we talked about the movie The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't like it, but you said Dr. Sleep was better following the material, correct?
Yes, I thought they did a good job following along with Dr. Sleep. Ewan McGregor and I forget the lead woman's name. Rebecca Ferguson, possibly. I believe.
I don't remember.
But no, they did a pretty good job with that.
I enjoyed the movie. Yeah,
I enjoyed it very much.
I remember we watched it together. I think it was just you and I. Because I remember I've never watched The Shining with him. It's always been with other people because he doesn't want to watch it. But we said, let's watch Dr. Sleep, and we liked it.
No, if I could find the TV movie they made, 2 or 3 part or whatever it was, I believe Rebecca De Mornay is in there, and I forget the actor who played the lead in that.
Like I know that Tim Curry, it was like made for TV. Wasn't that a couple parters too? Like 2-parters?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. But I remember watching that once and I was like, this is really good. Like cheesy 70s, 80s, whatever it was at the time, early 90s, whatever was made. But I liked it. And then the newer ones came out. Those were so good. I'm excited for the new show.
Yeah, Welcome to Derry. Yes, that looks interesting.
That looks really good.
I have it marked as I gotta check that out when it comes on. So
because we're into that stuff.
There's a few others that have come and gone too. They've tried to.
I know they tried Under the Dome. I started that. I like the
I think that only lasted a couple seasons. I think so. I'm not sure. The premise was interesting. But sometimes, people just...
Yeah, because I think a lot of it stuff's been made into movies more so than TV.
And some they've remade from theatrical to a TV.
Yeah.
They've done that way, too.
Very true.
So
I know they did. The first Dark Tower, I don't know. I don't think it got great reviews.
Which one?
Dark Tower movie.
I don't think it did either. I didn't see it. I
think I saw it in theaters when it first came out.
Right.
And I was like, I like the premise, because I like fantasy stuff. So I'm like, I'll watch it.
Right.
With my books, I have a wide range of movies and shows I'll watch. I'm like, I'm into a lot of stuff. I don't care. Let me just read it, watch it.
Yeah.
Listen.
I can say a wide range of books I'll read, whether autobiographers or just biographies or true stories.
Yeah, I got you the Val Kilmer autobiography.
Yes.
Because we like Tombstone.
Yeah, I like Tombstone and Val Kilmer. When I was a senior in high school, he was a sophomore at our school.
My dad's cool, guys.
And he actually lived in Roy Rogers' old house in Chatsworth, and that was nearby was a hangout area up in the Roxon Hills up there on Trigger Lane or Bullet Drive. I'm not sure.
That's cool.
But yeah, it was everybody that lived there. All the kids knew exactly where that house was.
Oh yeah.
And so
And
which was just down the street, not far from a 70s pop duo. The Captain and Tennille also lived out there too.
Everyone lived everywhere out there.
Yeah.
You lived near a lot of things out there.
Yeah, the notorious Manson family was
Manson was near you too.
Yeah, they were a short hike away from us too.
Good and the bad.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
70s, man, what are you going to do?
No, that was the 60s.
Oh, that was the 60s.
That's right. The 70s
But also the 70s.
for the others, Val Kilmer.
What are you going to do? But no, I have that book and I want to read it too because I love Val Kilmer and I like the stuff he's in.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him as Batman too.
No, he was a good actor. Yeah. He passed away finally. Not finally. Sorry, that sounds terrible. Oh, thank goodness! Finally, he's dead. No,
I know he was. He seemed like a little miserable.
He had cancer, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I like the little cameo he had in Top Gun Maverick.
Right, and
that was cute.
Tom Cruise insisted.
Oh yeah, even if just there for a second, then
right.
Yeah.
So there's a variety of books I've read about. Some of our founding fathers. I've really enjoyed those.
I got you the Hamilton book, yes.
I read Hamilton and thoroughly enjoyed Hamilton. I've read Franklin. I've read about Thomas Jefferson, John Adams.
Yes.
Those books are quite intriguing. One of my favorite nonfiction books of all time is by John Krakauer, Into Thin Air. And it's the story of the failed Everest expedition.
Oh.
Where I forget how many people died on the top of that mountain.
Oh, okay.
And John Krakauer is a mountaineer himself.
Check that out.
Yeah, that book is probably my all-time favorite nonfiction book. It's really well written.
That is good. I haven't heard you talk about that one before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one you talked about? I know it's fiction, The Devil in the City or something?
Devil in the White City, something like that.
I borrowed it and then I didn't listen to it in time.
Yeah, mom read that too. It mixes fiction and fact in it, but this one had more factual stuff, and they wove it into a story. And two different stories. It dealt with Marconi and developing the wireless radio signals, basically. Mm-hmm. And also with one of America's least known but terrible serial killers, H.H. Holmes.
Oh, yes. So he's getting more popular with
more people are finding out about it. It takes place in the World's Fair in Chicago.
That's right. I was like, I remember trying to get this. Why?
And at the same time, Europe with Marconi trying to develop his radio, and how they blend it together was pretty good. But until I read that book, I had no idea who H.H. Holmes was, and it was very intriguing and fascinating.
Yeah, I was trying to remember why. I was like, why did I want to read this again? Yeah, I like H.H. Holmes because I like my true crime.
Yeah.
I like my murder stuff,
Yeah, one of America's early serial killers,
And I think Supernatural did an episode about him too.
They may have, I don't remember. There's way too many episodes for me to remember.
Yes, I know. And I said in my first episode introducing us, my dad has read all the Harry Potters, I said, and Twilight books. Because my brother and I were reading them. I think that's all that you've read that Nick and I read. Did you read the series More Fortunate Events?
No, I did not.
No, I'm collecting them, so we'll have them.
No, I read the books. I wanted to keep up on what you were reading. I had heard the Harry Potter series was well written, and they were.
Exactly.
And the Twilight series I read because they were extremely popular.
And my brother and I were reading them.
And they were reading them, so I'll read along and see what we're reading. How good are they? And
it's made for teenage girls.
Yeah, it was, because there were many times I'm going, okay, yes, she's upset and full of teenage angst. How many pages is she full of teenage angst? Come on, let's get through this. And I would flip the pages till she was finally coming out of her room and say, oh my God, thank God, let's move on.
It's okay. Now as an adult, we're all like, we're Team Charlie. Like, screw the guys. We're Team the dad. Especially Billy Burke. Yes. Yeah, I don't think you've read anything else. I know you've kind of have read Gina B. Jones with us, but that's mainly Nick reading to us.
Yeah, and Mom reading them to you guys too, especially if we were traveling or something. They were good travel books.
They were. I don't remember anything else that we've really read and talked about that you would have read. I'm trying to remember.
No, I'm glad we were able to pass on the reading
I am too.
gene to you guys, because we were on vacation one time, and the fifth Harry Potter was
it was the
fifth?
last one. It was the seventh one.
Oh, was it the seventh one?
Nick and I were talking about it, and
it was coming out, and
it had just come out.
It had just come out, and we were going on vacation. We're going to a friend of mine's, lifelong friend of mine's, his family's cabin in the woods, and
we brought our books. My brother and
they brought their books, they're reading, and any spare time they had when we weren't out horseback riding or jet skiing or
doing things,
or out on the boat or doing other things around there. When they had downtime, they were reading. And my friend couldn't understand that. And he says, "Why are they reading?
Because we're teenagers."
Yeah. Why are they reading? And I said, because they enjoy books and storytelling,
and we've been waiting for this book too,
right. And they've been waiting for this book as it closes out the series for them. And
so I think I remember there being a TV and him asking Nick if he wanted, do you want to watch a movie? He's like, no.
Which was a big thing for Nick, because Nick was huge into movies. Huge. He loved movies. He could tell you the director, when it was made, where it was shot, how long the movie ran. If it was a movie he liked, that was his.
Sometimes he would just know it too, just to know it.
He would just know it. I mean, that was what he liked.
That was him. But that's something I always tell too. Is this is how much readers we are. We love our books. We would be order dinner, and then everybody would be talking, and would be sitting there reading. Right.
I brought a book on our last trip to Hawaii.
You did?
I did.
I wasn't big of a reader at that time. So I was in my funk phase.
Yeah, we go in and out of it, but I knew I'd be spending some time on the beach, and
we spent some time on the beach.
I'm going to read a book.
What book did you read in Hawaii?
It was Obama's.
It was
autobiography. At least the first part. I haven't read the second part. And then when I was just down in LA not that long ago for my high school reunion, I had brought a book with me, and. Actually, it was more of a true story book. Both of them were when I took on vacation, I guess. This was about the founding of the NFL and the 5 main men behind it, starting in the 1920s, and how it progressed. Right? The league, yes.
Yeah, I know. The oldest nephew wants to read that.
Yeah. He's
very into football.
Fascinating book, too, as well.
So. You do like a mix of books. That's why it's hard to shop for you.
I do like a mix.
What do you want?
Yeah, I do like fiction. I like good storytelling. I like some fantasy books. I like the thriller, the horror book. I like the biographies, and I like a good nonfiction too.
I've only read a couple biographies, but I want to read more. I said I have Val Kilmer's I want to read, but I definitely want to read more. Okay, everyone say bye, Dad.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
Signing off. From your leaders to our devotees. See you next time. I said, as I say in this, I have not read it. Will you stop it? Hey. Stop it. Callie.
Reading now that I'll look at...
hold on. Don't hit the button.
Yeah.
That's why I hold this side.
There we go. That's better.
The Hopper.
Maybe.
We read all the Dream Harper together.
And it's not like she's wanted in any other state.